All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Motivational Zoom here this Tuesday. My name is Austin Zuloff out here in Lexington, Kentucky. Beautiful, sunny Kentucky. It's deceivingly beautiful, a little chilly out, about 39 degrees Fahrenheit. We've got folks from all over the world this morning. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you so much. And I've got the distinct pleasure of introducing a friend of mine this morning that's an industry icon, just an all-around good guy. And he is the first field leader to speak on the corporate motivational Zoom. So I'm really excited to sit in this guy's audience. And Whit is just a phenomenal network marketing leader that's a magnetic marketing and lead generation genius. He's an incredible keynote speaker, trainer, and coach with students from all over the world that he teaches the latest and greatest strategies on growing a huge and successful business, all online, leveraging platforms like social media with automation. Okay, so he's got an intense passion for helping everyday people become entrepreneurs who work smarter, not harder, so they can grow true financial freedom and time freedom, leveraging this business model we have here. So please pay close attention, take some good notes. We're ready to get fired up this Tuesday afternoon or evening, depending on what part of the world you're in. And let me introduce to you Mr. Whit Hyam. Whit, the Zoom is yours, my friend.
Awesome. Austin, thank you so much for that. Man, that thing just gets longer and longer as he starts to introduce me. Love it. Love it. But guys, I'm excited to hang out with you guys today and just share a little wisdom of things that I've learned over the last 8 years doing this, this network marketing thing. And, and it's come with a lot of ups and downs. Me and my wife kind of a little bit of a background of where we came from. So that way I can kind of set up of what I'm going to be talking with you guys about today. But let me start off by asking a question. How many of you guys on a daily basis struggle with your own confidence in your business? Like how many of you guys, just by show of hands, put your hands up, struggle with just some level of confidence? Okay. It might not be in every single thing inside of your business, but there is some level of confidence, right? That you're just like, God, for whatever reason, I can't get myself like really motivated on certain areas of my business, whether that be doing maybe one of your first posts, maybe that be talking to your first person or connecting with that first person and actually asking for what it is that you want. I'm going to be talking about a few things that I see, not only that I've seen from not just people inside of Zealous, our company, but also, me and my wife have trained thousands of network marketers over the last 5 to 6 years. And I've got to see, some common denominators in what most people feel and how they act inside of network marketing that keeps them stuck, it keeps them frustrated, and actually it all leads back to the confidence level that they put on themselves. And so what I'm going to share with you guys today is how to kind of really step up your confidence level, even if you haven't had any results in your business, okay? Because that is probably one of the hardest things for most people is that I don't have any results yet, or I haven't had a result with a product, or you think you haven't had a result and you're holding yourself back just because you think you have to have some mind-blowing result inside of your business in order to get people to do what you want them to do. So kind of to kick things off and where me and my wife come from and what we learned, and this will be a good segue into what I'm going to share with you guys is the first 2.5 years of network marketing, me and my wife struggled horribly in network marketing. It took me 6 months to sign up my first customer, guys, 6 months. And it was not for the lack of trying. I did a home meeting every single week, same day for that 6 months. Okay. Over and over and over again. Okay. I'm surprised I was not fired from my job with how many people I talked to, because I drove a Pepsi truck. So I talked to a lot of people, the vendors, all of this stuff. I'm surprised I didn't get fired because I was basically promoting, hey, come and do this instead of what you're doing and come and work with me or buy my product or whatever that may be. Okay. I talked to a lot of people in that 6 months. I went through my warm market super quickly. I even had some ex-girlfriends think that I'm trying to have an affair with them because I reached out to them about an opportunity. Believe me, I'll let Carrie tell you that story because it's funnier coming from her. So it wasn't for the lack of effort that we struggled inside of this business. And so, about 5 years ago, we decided to really invest in ourselves, learn some good marketing strategies. And then that's when it just all of a sudden started popping for us, was because we really dove into some higher level skill sets inside of network marketing, which cool enough, every Saturday, we actually share little bits and pieces of that when we get a chance to train of what we've learned and what kind of got us to where we are now. So fast forward to where we are now. Like I said, I've met with thousands of different network marketers from different companies all over the world. And there's always been some common denominators that I've come across. And one of those, the biggest common denominator is just the confidence that people had. And so, that was something that was very, very hard for me is that I've been doing this for 2.5 years. And at one point I started asking myself, man, I haven't had a ton of success. So how come anybody at this point are going to start listening to me? I haven't really made any money. I haven't really found a bunch of people to really consume the products. So why would anybody want to come and listen to me now? And then I was on a training one day, and this kind of metaphor has stuck with me since then. And I use it all the time when I talk to people that are struggling with confidence or whatever that may be. Okay. But have you guys ever heard the saying that a fourth grader is a god to a second grader? Have you guys ever heard that before? Something that I use all the time. A fourth grader is a god to the second grader. And think about that for a minute. The level of education of a fourth grader or the level of education of a second grader. Really, if you take a look at both of those guys, there is not much difference between a fourth grader and a second grader, other than maybe the fourth grader gets to hang out on the big side at recess every single day, right? They get to go play on the big hoops, and the second graders are still on just the jungle gym and all of that stuff, whatever that may be. There's really not a big difference. But how come that second grader takes a look at the fourth grader and says, man, I cannot wait to be the fourth grader one day. Okay. And this has stuck with me ever since then, because even having the success that we've had now inside of our business, there are still people that make a lot more money than me, have been way more successful than me inside of this industry. So how come somebody would want to come to me and have a conversation with me about my company, what I do, and how I teach my team how to do it? It's because I am a fourth grader to somebody that is a second grader. Guys, I don't know if you understand this, but there are a bunch of second graders right now that are looking for you, the fourth grader, because really you're just a few steps ahead of them. Or maybe you got your hands on some amazing products that they're looking for. We just need to get it in front of them. They're looking for that person that's going to guide them to the next step. Okay. So what I'm going to share with you guys is just a few things that you guys need to focus on in order to build up your confidence. And like I said, how to raise your confidence, even if you don't have any big results yet, whether that be with a product or inside of your business, doesn't matter. We're going to teach you guys how to become super confident inside of your business. Okay. So first thing first, okay, write this down. Confidence comes from practice. Okay. You do not all of a sudden come into this world with a bunch of confidence, maybe in certain areas. You just feel really comfortable. But the reason that you're confident in that thing is because chances are you had a lot of practice with it, or you did it for a long period of time to where you have such substantial knowledge around that particular thing that you are not afraid to share it with anybody. Okay. So when you're coming into a new company, or maybe you're brand new and zealous, maybe this is your first run in a company. And by the way, what a great choice to be a part of a company that's launching, has great products, great science. If you guys jumped on last Saturday and listened to the science behind it, guys, this is absolutely awesome. But confidence does come from practice, meaning confidence in learning how to share your story. How many of you guys have maybe been really afraid to maybe put out a first post that taught, to create curiosity around what you're doing? Or maybe you actually did have somebody ask you, hey, what are you doing? And you were afraid to share it fully just because you're like, well, I don't know enough about the products, right? I hear this all the time. Well, I don't know enough about the product, so I'm afraid to share it. Okay. Guys, you have amazing resources here that you don't have to share anything, that you can literally add people to, tag them in information, and let the information walk them through the process. Okay. But in order to get really confident in something, guys, this is proven in anything that we do, is if you want to become a good basketball player, well, if you want to become a confident basketball player, you've got to practice every single day. So the same thing applies inside of your business. What are you doing on a daily basis to practice building up your confidence? Are you telling your story? Okay, are you sharing maybe results that you have, or maybe not, or maybe even not even sharing results that you haven't had yet? Walking people through some of the bad things that are happening as well. Okay, but in order to get really good at what we do inside of this business, you have to practice every single day. So not just telling yourself that, hey, this is what I'm going to do, but like Brandy taught this last Saturday, if you haven't checked that out, building out your daily method of operation and actually having it in your calendar of things that you are going to work on inside of your business. Okay. At first, it's going to feel awkward. It's going to feel horrible. It's going to be like, man, this is not me. But as P.T. Barnum has always said, I love this quote, is that comfort is the enemy of progression. So if you're staying where you're at and comfortable and you're not progressing or building up that confidence, I promise you, you're never going to get to where you want to be inside of this industry or inside of your zealous business, because you are not practicing the behaviors that are being taught to you. Okay. So second thing, be okay to fail and understand that that is part of the process. Okay, we come into this business and we don't want to fail. Like who here can absolutely say, man, I love the feeling of failing, or the feeling of somebody told me no. Nobody is going to say, yeah, I love that feeling. Nobody does. Okay, nobody wants to experience that. And what your brain is doing to you is actually holding you or stopping you from having those conversations or building up that confidence, is because your brain is actually really, really well programmed to try and predict the future for you. That's what it does. It predicts the future for you and creates scenarios inside of your head that are going to keep you safe, stuck, comfortable. So that way you don't feel bad, you don't put yourself in danger or whatever that may be. Okay. But the one thing that we have to understand as entrepreneurs, that failure is going to happen. People are going to tell us no. I don't care how great your marketing strategy is. There are always going to be people that will tell you no. Okay. And it's not a great feeling. But this is the reality of what we do as trying to get amazing products in front of people, okay? And they tell us no, it is what it is. But you've got to be okay with failing, because if you don't fail, you don't learn. You know, I have a video on my phone from last year when I was teaching my son how to ride his bike. And he was getting really, really good at riding his bike. And I never let him crash, okay? I never let him crash. Every time he'd go to crash, like, because if he did, like, I knew he was just going to freak out and run away, never want to come back to his bike. Well, one day we were out there, riding his bike, and I have this on video. It's the funniest thing in the world. I'll have to share it with you guys, but he's riding his bike down the road, doing great. And I'm trying to get him to make a turn, and he's doing great. And I knew he was going to crash. I absolutely knew it. But I'm just like, if he doesn't crash, he's not going to know what it feels like to crash. So his brain's not going to be like, we don't want to do that again. Okay. So as he was going to make the turn, I was standing right there. Could have easily grabbed him, held him back up. Nope, I let him go, boom. And it wasn't like a soft crash either. I was like, okay, this is going to be a soft crash. No, he didn't even get his arms down. It was just straight chest to concrete. Boom, just hit. And he looks up, and Carrie's a video on it from our front yard. And she's all, Dad, what did you do? And I was just like, I'm laughing, and he's crying, running away and doing all this stuff. But from that point on, he understood that he had to do certain things to get better at that. And he actually did. So when he went to make that turn again, guess what he did? He didn't do the same thing. He didn't turn it as sharp or do any of that stuff. So we've got to take our fails, and we got to understand that it's part of the process to become successful inside of this industry. Okay. Do not be afraid to get no's. Do not be afraid to have people not believe in this industry. It is what it is. Okay. But just know that as you fail, or you put out that post and maybe you don't get people to comment on it or whatever that may be. Okay. That is just a time to evaluate that. And like me and Carrie had taught just a couple of weeks ago, how to evaluate things that we're doing inside of our business. Okay. I promise you, I go into my days every day, what didn't work, so that way I can make it better the next day. And if you guys can really learn this piece, I promise you, your confidence level is going to go up, and you're not going to worry about what every other person thinks about what you're doing. Okay. The third thing, write this down. Give yourself some grace. Okay. One of the biggest things that I see as I jump on with calls is everybody beats themselves up so bad because they're not making any money, or they've been doing this for 30 days and nobody said yes yet. Guys, I did this for 6 months with nobody saying yes to me. 6 months. And I even had my own upline at the time come back to me and say, how come you guys are still doing this? Most people would have quit months ago if they hadn't signed somebody up within the first 30 to 60 days. Guys, I made a commitment to jump into this industry, okay, and make it work, okay? And I guarantee you guys have told a lot of people that that you're gonna make this work. Don't go back on that. Make it work. So give yourself some grace. Don't beat yourself up, okay, when things don't work out on a daily basis, or maybe a weekly basis or a monthly basis. Give yourself a break. And when I say this next piece, don't take it the wrong way, but lower your expectations of yourself, okay? Instead of and when I say that, it's because we come into this business and we usually typically compare to somebody else, okay? How many of you guys have done that within the last 30 days, compared yourself to somebody else? Because you see all of the people posting inside of the Zealous group of, hey, welcome so-and-so, welcome so-and-so, hey, so-and-so just hit this rank, so-and-so just hit that rank. How many of you guys have done that? I even still do it, okay? Where I'm like, the competitive side of me comes out of this, okay? But so when I say lower your expectations, I'm not giving you a free pass to be like, oh, I'm just gonna, mosey along in this and hopefully one day I get lucky. No, what I'm talking about is that stop comparing yourself to other people, stay in your lane, okay, and get really good at the skill sets that you're learning on a daily basis. Because remember, this is not a sprint to the finish line, guys. This is a marathon. Being an entrepreneur is a marathon, not a sprint. Okay, the ones that usually typically sprint in this, yes, they'll make a good money up front, but there's no longevity in sprinting in that. Eventually, okay, you get to the finish line pretty quickly. Okay, don't get me wrong. We want to create something that's going to be a legacy here, not only for the company itself, but also for you guys individually in your own businesses. Okay, so you need to lower those expectations in the sense of stop comparing yourself to somebody else. And I know I'm going to be repeating this over and over and over again, but I want to have you guys commit right now, that you're not going to compare yourself to anybody else inside of this. You're going to stay in your lane and you're going to get good and confident in your own business. Okay. Show of hands. How many of you guys are going to do that? Okay. I want to see it. Drop it in the comments too. I want to see how many of you guys are really going to put both feet in and be confident in your business. Okay. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Okay. So that's the third thing. The fourth thing, you need to start taking care of you. Okay, meaning what do you need to do to start taking care of yourself on a daily basis? Okay, because, and I always say this to my team, you cannot take care, if you do not take care of number one, how do you honestly believe that you're going to take care of number 2 and 3? Okay, confidence comes from how well you take care of yourself on a daily basis, whether that be from a fitness standpoint, whether that be from just a home life standpoint, good harmony inside of the home with kids, husband, wife, partner, whatever that may be. Okay. But you guys need to be taking care of yourselves on a daily basis. And actually, one of the events that really changed my life about 5 years ago, an industry leader inside of this industry, he said, listen, guys, if you guys have monkeys on your back right now, I promise you those monkeys will hang on to you forever and they will drag you down. So take care of things in your past that are bugging you, that are on your back, that are just irritating you, whatever it is. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, and I remember coming from that event, and I was like, yeah, I got to take care of a few things. And I remember, just repairing relationships that were damaged, that just really bugged me, that the relationship got damaged or whatever that may be. So start taking care of you. So identify that thing for you. What does that mean to take care of you? Is it from a health standpoint? You guys are taking amazing products, right? So what else can we add on top of that to become even better? Okay, progression, guys. This is all about progression. How do we become better, whether it be in our body, our mind, whatever that may be? But you've got to take care of number 1, or else you cannot take care of number 2 and 3. You cannot help anybody unless you're taking care of yourself first. Okay, and I know a lot of people say, well, I'm willing to sacrifice myself. There's a big difference in sacrificing yourself, okay, for somebody in a certain situation versus you sacrificing yourself just because you want to get to the top in this industry. I promise you, sacrificing certain things is never going to get you to where you want to be. Okay. So the last thing that I'm going to leave you with is you guys start to build confidence inside of your business, and you guys start to learn the skill sets and get those skill sets out there. You need to start asking for what you want on a daily basis, meaning you've got to start putting it out there of what you want. Okay, a lot of people are just so humble that they're just like, well, I don't want to come out as prideful. I don't want to come out as greedy. I don't want to come out as whatever that may be. Guys, there is nothing wrong for wanting something in this life. Okay, there's a difference between coveting something that somebody has versus just generally wanting to get better and earn those things because you got better. Okay, coveting is just sitting back and saying, man, I really want that, and how do I weasel my way in to take that, versus actually learning a skill set, okay, and getting good at that skill set and then achieving that goal because you got really, really good and confident inside of your business. Okay, but you have to start asking for what you want on a daily basis, okay? Because I promise you, okay, if you do not start asking for what you want, how are you ever going to get what you want if you're not asking for it? I see this all the time with people, not even even inside of my own team, when I get into conversations with them and they're just like, God, nobody's signing up. I'm getting in all these conversations, but nobody's signing up. And then I get on a conversation with them. They're always passively letting people just make the decision for themselves of signing up. Oh, hey, well, what did you think of that? Hey, get back to me. If you feel like it's something you're going to do. No, that's way too passive. If somebody is taking a look at information, be direct with them. Hey, it's time to get going. Do you want to do X or do you want to do Y? Where do you sit in this equation? Okay. Be okay with doing these things and start getting confident in your business and have what we like to call a backbone, right? We all have those. Okay. I guarantee every single one of you are walking and sitting and doing that because you do have a backbone. Well, let's tighten it up a little bit. Be confident inside of your business. Okay. Because again, I promise you guys, if this is the one thing you can't focus on of just getting confidence levels up inside of yourself and inside of your business. Now, don't get me wrong. There are outside forces that are going to try to tear that down. Okay. Maybe it be somebody really close to you or whatever that may be. But I promise you, if you follow these things, you will stop thinking about what other people think of you, and you'll start focusing again. This comes back down to number one. Who's number one here? Who do we need to take care of first? You guys need to take care of yourselves first. Okay. So do those things. I promise you, as you do them over time, this is not going to be a 1-day quick fix. Okay. This isn't going to be a 30-day quick fix. Some people are a little bit deeper in the hole. Well, it's time to break the damn shovel and throw it out of the hole. So that way you guys can start climbing your way back to the top. Okay. So that's what I have for you guys today. Hopefully you guys got a lot of value out of that in what I shared with you, but follow those steps and remind yourself of those things every day. Cool.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So, folks, I hope you took some good notes. I took a bunch of good notes. Whit, you're a rock star for sure. Guys, just to recap some of the notes that I took, a fourth grader is a guide to a second grader. There's somebody right now looking at you saying, I wish I could get to that level. And that's so true. Everybody's an expert at something. And to someone that knows nothing about it, you're an expert now, especially now. Number 2 is confidence comes from practice. You're not born with it. Practice every day. That's part of your daily method of operations. So true. Absolutely. Comfort is the enemy of progression. I think I had heard that before, Whit, but I didn't remember it. So that's great. It's a P.T. Barnum quote. Be okay with failing. I'm gonna skip down to here. One that I really, really, really like, and there's so much that I really love about what you said, Whit, is make a commitment. You've told people this is going to work. So stick to your word and make it work. There's already, we've got folks like Ann and Tim that have been with us since day one in North America. And we've already overcame so many incredible challenges and worked through so many, so many issues and things like that, from merchant account stuff and whatnot. Nothing life or death, but, we made dramatic improvements together and we made a commitment. No matter what, we're making this work. And we've got one of the final phases of the pre-launch of North America that's happening here over the course of the next couple of weeks. So we appreciate you so much. Whit Hyam, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. So with that, I want to encourage you to have a day that make a difference. And let's have a week that breaks some records. And I'll see you tonight on the overview with the rest of the team. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.